Hey guys, my name's Jack again from Thunder Compute. If you haven't heard of Thunder Compute or what we do, we basically give like really cheap GPU instances, and we do that by like virtualizing GPUs, like attaching them like you would network attached storage, but for GPUs. And I'm going to show you two different ways that you can run Dagger on like the Thunder Compute platform today. Um, Both of them require what is right now a custom engine, but I have a PR out, and I can actually show that PR. But I have a PR out on the Dagger um, repository, 9547. If anyone has feedback, wants to take a look, it is my first PR to Dagger, and so it's not like perfect, but I welcome feedback. Because
Contributed.
there's a couple custom like implementation things to get GPUs working on Thunder Compute with Dagger. And so, um, yeah, I'll go ahead and jump into it. Well, I'm going to show you the second way that we have that we're able to run these. Um, and that's more like the fly.io way. We spin up like Firecracker VMs that are attached to GPUs. Because the GPU doesn't actually have to be on the virtual machine, this actually spins up Kubernetes pods that are attached to GPUs. And the GPUs is not on the Kubernetes node itself. And so I'll kind of walk you through the way that we do that. Right now I have a custom module, Thunder Dagger module, really creative naming. But all you do is you pass your TNR API token. And you can see right here that I'm like outputting the module output to bash. This is just, we use SSH authentication to attach these Kubernetes pods. And then we're going to use that as our Dagger runner. And so right now this is running on my local Dagger engine. And you can see it spin up. The actual module itself, all it's really doing is calling an API that we have built out that allows you to spin up these pods. And we'll see that we successfully connected. It tested this connection. And it's going to export an experimental Dagger runner host variable for us. We can use this runner host to run like normal CUDA commands. And so, or like anything that you want to use to run things on a GPU. And so I'm going to use like the NVIDIA GPU test CUDA module just to kind of show you how that works. So right now we're connected to that remote host. We connected over SSH, and now we're loading that module, and then like we'll see that we're attached to a GPU. And this module takes a second to load. So
We have actually I can find some cool waiting music with the dance pop. There we go.
and I'll check if our API is back up. Yeah, our API is back up.
Woohoo!
Let's look at that. So
Look
quick.
at that! Look at that! And look at Sam. Sam, he's on YouTube. He's commenting. Sam, your module looks like it's being used here. You're famous.
Yeah,
Famous again.
it's in the documentation for how to work, how to use this, and so I figured it was probably the best way to show like custom runners using a GPU. So you can see that that output shows that we're attached to a Tesla T4, and yeah, we can also run like any of the other NVIDIA commands, and then we can check. Like we can use that same module, and again, that module is like on GitHub, or just in Thunder in like Daggerverse. But we can like call status. We can see like what pods we currently have up, and then we can destroy those pods, which is cool. And yeah, you're really only, yeah, it's just an easy way to get GPUs like into your workflow. And hopefully you don't have to like spin up a custom engine. I'm hoping to eventually have this capabilities just in the normal repository. So yeah, you can see that we have one of those pods up, and we can just call destroy on that pod. And And it's actually funny, we are destroying the pod that we're currently running on. And then if I try to run anything else on it, it's going to tell me that it's not available anymore. And you just unset your that experimental Dagger runner host variable. I'm going to show you the second way to use this on Thunder Compute. And that's just through like running on a normal instance. I showed you like you can see you're running instances in Thunder Compute like normal. You'd normally create a Thunder Compute instance with like TNR create. You can pass like a GPU argument, like you can give us the different parameters for how to create an instance. And I'll just say like I want to create a GPU instance with an A100 attached virtually. Cool. And I don't really feel like waiting for that to come up. And so I'm just going to show you this on the instance I already have. So I'll just run a connect command, and that's going to connect us to this instance. We're going to start an SSH shell into it. And we're in that instance. And I just have like this little script that I put together to do this. And all it's really doing is it's pulling that Dagger engine. It's going to start the Dagger engine, and we're going to set that engine as our host. Again, I hope to simplify this, but right now I needed to use a custom build, so I had a script to do it for me, so I don't have to like type all this out in front of you guys. And I saved that script under like run Dagger right here, so I'll show you. Yeah, and so it's using like that custom build engine. It started up that container. It's going to give it a second. It connects to it, and then we're going to load that same test CUDA module that we were showing earlier.
So it's possible that so if I'm running things that don't need the GPU, how does that work? Or
you could just, so like if you're in an instance, these instances are always attached, like have a network attached GPU that you're able to access. If you want to run it without the GPU, you could just not set like the experimental GPU support flag. But anytime you access the GPU, you are going to have a GPU attached. And you can actually switch if you want to like start up the Firecracker Firecracker VM way that I showed you guys a second ago. You can pass like the GPU type flag to that module or to the API that module is calling. And you can set that to CPU, and it's just going to spin up. It's just going to not use the GPU at all. So
right. So you guys have a really cool, like very clean separation with this network GPU thing. Mm-hmm. But by default, it's kind of easy button. You've got an instance with the network GPU of your choosing.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Cool. And I had, so just to show you guys, technically this is like a T4 instance, but I had like swapped the config of that. I had passed that GPU flag to change it to an A100 just to like show you guys like kind of how this works. But like I like virtually attached an A100 and then ran test CUDA, and it printed out the NVIDIA SMI output. So, and yeah, like same way as I did before, like TNR is really easy, but like if I exit out of this instance and I don't want it anymore, you can run that status command. You can kind of see that's running, and you can run TNR delete 0. And then that instance is gone, or you can stop it or whatever you want. So, and yeah, that's kind of all I have for you today. Again, that I do have that PR up. I appreciate eyes on it.
Yeah, or like 47, perfect. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
And any comments? And then
very cool.
Yeah, that module is under Thunder Dagger module, just under my GitHub username.
Oh, perfect. So, oh, yeah, that's a script I used.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The other thing that was cool, I mean, so some folks might be wondering, you know, what's an application of this, right? Why might they want to do this? And I think when we chatted before, like one example is like if you wanted to run, say you want to run a local model, right? And you need GPU to do that. That's a pretty common case for you guys, and for some of the folks been following along in the LLM channel that we have in Discord. You can see there's like some really interesting stuff happening where people are connecting LLMs to Dagger, in Dagger, creating agent workflows and things. So some folks are doing that with the the cloud-based LLM support, but say you wanted to run a model yourself, you need some GPUs to do that, and you're using Dagger, could be very interesting.
Yeah, and like I said, like we're like the cheapest option in the world for doing that. So if you want to run like some Ollama model, or you want to, I don't know, you can always switch your host to that remote host in like your workflow. Do the rest of it in like on your local machine. Pass something to like, and I think his name is Sam, but I think he's the one that wrote that NVIDIA GPU module. You can pass that to like, you can pass some output to Ollama that's running on one of those Firecracker instances, and then like immediately spin it down whenever you're done. So